Good morning, my fellow Michiganders. Good morning, my fellow Americans. Welcome to the Grassroots Army podcast. I am, of course, your host, former Michigan gubernatorial candidate Garrett Soldano, and I'm really going to stress the former, not someone who plans on running, and not someone who wants to run for anything in the future in any level of politics. Let's get the elephant out of the room right now. I spent Christmas break going to parties and talking to people and having meetings. And everybody had the same question. Garrett, when you're running again, what are you going to run for next? And I pretty much told every single person, I'm not running for anything. And they're like, well, you need to leave the door or the window open. I don't want to leave nothing open, to be quite honest with you. My political career in my heart and in my soul is done. Now, what I plan on doing is exposing what I like to say, the hot garbage, really giving a voice to other folks who are running for office. And I'm going to continue to build this brand that I've created, this Grassroots Army brand, which I think is going to be very powerful. This organization, my intent, my vision with this thing is to inspire ordinary people to do extraordinary things, not just in politics, folks. Politics will be a branch. However, I want it to be bigger than that. I want you to do extraordinary things in your life. As a husband, as a wife, as a mother, as a father, as a Christian, as a human being. That's what I want this organization, this brand to evolve into. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And that's why I waited to do this live a few days after New Year's Day, because what happens on New Year's Day? Everybody is at the gym. They have their challenges that they're going to do, the fad diets, all that stuff. And I don't believe in any of that. I think you should make changes throughout your life. You don't have to wait till New Year's to say, you know what? Now I'm going to start. No, you can start right now. You could have started several months ago. You could have started years ago. I don't know where you're at in your life. However, today we're going to start to build a foundation of what I truly believe this movement can evolve into. And that is the Grassroots Army Strong movement, inspiring all of you, if you choose to, ordinary people to do extraordinary things. And we are going to build that foundation with 4 pillars. In January, we are going to talk about being physically strong. In February, we're going to talk about being mentally strong. In March, we're going to talk about being spiritually strong. And then in April, we are going to finish with financially strong. This is what I know for sure. 2024 is going to be a shit show. It truly is. It is going to be the ultimate clown show. There's going to be energy everywhere, right? Positive, negative, people pulling you here or there, who to vote for, who to stand for, who to back, who to make fun of, right? It's going to be an absolute clown show. You can already feel it. So my job is we're going to sift through this stuff. I'm going to continue to do everything that I can to give you up-to-date, accurate, truthful information. I will continue to stand for what I believe in. I will continue to call out the hot garbage on both sides of the aisle. Folks, the Republican and Democratic Party, guess what? They're both corrupt. They are the whole reason why we're in this mess. So all they do is point fingers at each other, continue to create division, and we eat each other alive. So I will call it out on both sides when I see it. Now, what's going on right now is there's a whole hell of a lot more to call out with the Democratic Party with all of the garbage that they had done underneath the Biden administration. It's just easy picking, folks. But what I want to bring is common sense. We all can live under this little umbrella, this idea called America together. But we have to have constructive conversation. It can't be a double standard. It can't be this do as I say, not as I do mentality, which a lot of these elitists, these political garbage folks, what they did through the pandemic, everything else, we're done with all that. And so that is what we're going to create. And so I want to prepare you for the shit show that's coming your way, the clown show. And we can do that by making sure that you're physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially strong. And so I'm going to break each pillar up each month, and we're going to dissect it. Now, the first one, let's get into January. Physically strong. Now, there are a million fad diets out there. There are a million different people telling you to do a million different things, and this is how to be successful physically. Here's what I'm here to tell you. As a chiropractor, as a doctor of chiropractic, every body is different. So I'm not going to get on here and say, this is exactly what you should do. This is the exact workout you should do. This is the nutritional habitual pattern that you should create for yourself. I'm not going to do any of that. My job is to inspire you to go research and try different things. My job is to give you a little nudge, right? To get you on the path of what you should be and what you should do. But it's your job to figure it out because every body is different. What may work for one person may not necessarily work for you. It doesn't make it wrong. It doesn't make it not true. It just doesn't work for you because we're all different. All the way down to the molecular level, folks. Our biochemistry is different. So you have to kind of go through and sift through. And if you like one particular way, let's say you like the Mediterranean diet and it works well for you and you got tons of energy and you're lean and mean and you're not cloudy and it's just awesome, then fantastic. Do those things. Or if you are a keto person, or if you like something else, or the carnivore diet, there's tons of them out there, but you're going to have to experiment. And it's very scientific now. I mean, you get the blood work. I mean, there's guys out there and girls out there that will test your genetic makeup and tell you how you're processing stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty scientific. And that's what I would like to do is to bring a lot of these folks on who specialize in these certain things on the show, and we'll dissect it and talk about it. But I want you to understand, just like what we did with politics, take what everyone has to say with a grain of salt. Even me. I said this time and time again, research me, vet me. Just because Garrett says it, you still have to do your due diligence to find out if it's true to you or not. That is what I want to create. We have to get away from, well, this guy said it, so I'm going to do it. Or this guy's endorsed by this person, so I'm going to follow that candidate. I don't endorse anyone. You guys know that. I'll endorse folks after the primary. But after that, or before that, you're not going to hear me endorse anyone. Okay. It's just, I don't believe in endorsements. I truly don't. That's what got us into this mess too, is just people kind of sitting in the wayside, seeing what everyone else votes for or endorses. And that's who I'm going to follow. Now you have to do your own research, and same thing with the physically strong. So I'm going to share what I do with my body. All right. Again, this does not mean that you have to follow exactly what Garrett does. This is just to give you kind of my insanity of what I like to do. I'm a pretty extreme guy. I like pushing myself. I like really challenging myself to try different things and new things. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it, but here's kind of like my routine of what I have done in the past, which has been successful. And also I have failed many, many more times than I have succeeded. That's for sure. But let's get into cheat days. All right. So I'm going to give you little nuggets throughout this conversation. And we're going to do, a couple lives a week, and we're going to answer questions and all this other stuff. But I'm going to give you some of the things that I've done in the past that did not work for me. Number one is cheat days. Now, back in my 20s, maybe my 30s, I could get away with a cheat day. I really could. And all week I'd be planning for that cheat day. For those of you who follow me on my campaign, you know what my cheat day is and what it's going to consist of, or cheat meal. It's going to be a double butter burger, deluxe, large fry, double scoop of the flavor of the day, and I'm going to get a large water because water is healthy. But here's what happened. In the 20s, you could get away with that because your metabolism's still firing. You'd burn all that off. But now in my mid-40s, I'm 45 now, that cheat meal or cheat day ruins me for that next week. So I work my ass off all week. I'm grinding at the gym because I work out 3 to 4 times a week in the gym. I love lifting weights. I walk every morning 2 miles with my wife and my 2 lovely dogs, right? Every morning. That's my routine. That's my ritual. All right. And then Saturday or Sunday comes, and here comes the cheat meal, and I whoop it down, and I feel like garbage. My energy levels, I feel bloated. And that whole next week, I'm trying to undo my cheat meal or cheat day, right? So I want to create in your mind lifestyle changes. Consistency over time wins this battle. In my past, what I've also done is I would lose a bunch of weight, feel lean and mean, and I would go right back to the old behaviors and attitudes, and I would gain more weight. and I'd lose a little bit more weight, feel good about myself, then I'd gain more weight. And pretty soon, as I went down that vicious, horrible cycle, I'm fat, I'm depressed, I feel like a turd. All right. So again, I'm trying to create lifestyle changes for all of you so you can take little things, apply them to your life, and hopefully over time, you win the battle. That's what we want. All right. So it all comes down to this, to keep it very simple. Every single day when you wake up, you're either inflaming your body, maintaining your inflammation, or deflaming your body. These are very important things to consider because inflammation is when free radicals, we're going to get scientific here, free radicals get out of control and they're like 2-year-old undisciplined children. They'll rip up the place if you let them. That's what free radicals do. So what causes free radicals? Well, pretty much everything. You working out, your movement, right? Toxins, what you eat, sugar, they all cause, I mean, those are just a few examples. There's a lot more. Just look up free radicals and what causes them. That causes free radicals. And as free radicals get out of control, they cause inflammation. And when you have an inflamed body, your immune system has to deal with that inflammation so it will attack it. Two things happen. Your body succeeds or your immune system starts to get tired and overworked because you're not getting to the ultimate why, getting rid of the reasons why you're having free radicals, which cause inflammation, right? So you have to go all the way back to the beginning because as that inflammation gets out of control and your immune system starts to get overworked, it'll start attacking itself, creating an autoimmune disorder, or you'll get weak and then you'll get more susceptible to your environment, bacteria, viruses, you get sick and then you die, right? That's why you have to get to the ultimate why, what is causing the inflammation. Now, that is unfortunately a lot of things. You could be fat. You could be non-mobile. You could eat like garbage, processed foods, sugar. That's all going to create this kind of shitstorm of disease. So you have to start to do your due diligence and really cut out the things that are inflaming you. All right. So there's a big little TikTok fad going on, I think, with the millennials right now, like dry January. I think it's fantastic because alcohol just destroys your body. It truly does. It causes inflammation. I mean, anyone that has drank, I have drank in the past. Look, like it's detrimental to your system. It really is. And I really like watching the folks who go on their sobriety journey. It's really cool to watch the results of what they say after being sober for a year or 2 years or 5 years. And they talk about how much sleep that they're getting and how, they don't have anxiety anymore and all this other stuff. And to be honest with you, that inspires me because in the past, I would fill my life when I was stressed or had anxiety with that self-destructive behavior. I would drink and I would drink in excess. And when I do that, holy cow, it would put me down a downhill spiral. Everything that I have done bad in my life, and this is me being totally transparent and honest with you, it's because of alcohol. Every single time. Everything. I literally, if I take out alcohol in my past, I'm a pretty cool human being. But you put alcohol in my past, unfortunately, I've made mistakes. I've made bad mistakes. And then you have to deal with that garbage. So that leads me to my next point. If you are doing self-destructive behavior to yourself, guess what? Cut it out. Quit. You're like, well, it's hard. It's not hard. You just have to flip that switch. You have to anchor in more positive of quitting that horrible malfunctioning habit that is unfortunately a lot of rituals with a lot of people, or it's going to lead you down a path of mediocrity. And that's far less of what you truly deserve. You just have to flip the switch in your mind. And so it takes discipline, not motivation. I'm not here to be a rah-rah coach with all of you. I'm not going to do it. Motivation has to come from within. And you know what creates motivation? Success. And you know what creates success? Discipline. Discipline and action forms together for this little thing called success. Because as you start making the right choices, that takes discipline. And then you take in the right actions, that takes discipline. That's going to evolve you down to a very, very good path. Your dreams, your goals, accomplishing those things. Now, you can't have this mentality that just because I work hard means I am successful. That's not true. I have worked very hard for a lot of things in my life, and I've come up short, sometimes a little short, sometimes a lot. However, it builds you into what you should become. That's your destiny. Now, you may not know your destiny, all right? You may have a glimpse of what your destiny should be, or you may be one of those people, I know exactly what I'm going to be. That's all fine and dandy, but I do know this. Hard work works. Discipline, creating successful habits that evolves into rituals, leads you down to a better path than just blindly going through life, filling your body full of self-destructive things, creating inflammation, and then you start to be 50, 60, 70, and 80, and you're like, what the hell did I do? Because life, as I talk to the older folks in my clinic, goes us like that. It's very fast, all right? So no regrets, no regrets. And so here's my habitual patterns that are basically my ritual and what I do every single day, all right? Depending on the day, because I work in my clinic Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, okay? Every single day, I walk 2 miles. My wife and I get up 4:35 a.m., depending on the day. Sometimes we'll sleep in the 6 on Sunday if we're lucky, but we're up 4:35 every single day, and we go for a walk after our coffee. 2 miles, 30 minutes with our dogs, okay? Zoe's getting a little older, so she can't make the whole walk anymore. So she goes about a quarter mile, and then we drop her off, and we take Rambo, our German Shepherd, who loves walks, obviously. And then after that, I go in, I take all of my whole food that I eat, and we'll talk about that more in the nutritional segment of things on what I do. But I take my nutrition, and then I go to work. And then I do my videos, and I see my patients while you're seeing me here right now on Wednesday, right before my clinic opens at 9, as I'm doing a live. And then I'll start doing more videos at 10. And then at noon, I'll dominate a salad. And that salad has onions and cucumbers, sometimes some buffalo chicken, some ranch dressing, blue cheese dressing. I eat that stuff, right? And then I try to wait until dinner, and then I eat whatever my wife cooks, which she's a really good cook. But I try to eat in moderation, okay? That's my work days. That's what I usually do. So I'm not hitting the gym on these days. I hit my gym on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and sometimes if I feel like it, I hit it on Sunday. So I work out in the gym, and my workouts are very intense. I'm an intense guy. I love pushing myself. So I go in there and I throw in a lot of weight. I love it. I love to lift weights. I've done it for many years, but that's what I do physically wise. Now, being a chiropractor is also pretty physical, okay? Adjusting patients all day long, and I see about 100 patients a week. You know, that's also physical. So I'm kind of moving and grooving. I'm not just stuck behind the computer all day. And I know a lot of you that are watching right now, well, that's my job. I'm in a cubicle. You're going to have to find ways to get into the gym or work out at home or do something. I don't care what it is. You have to define what you can do. There's many at-home workouts. Everything is available to you on the phone now. I mean, it's the things that we have accessible to us now that we didn't have back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s is astronomically unbelievable. We have all the tools to be successful. We truly do. But we get lazy, and then we fall back in old behaviors and attitudes, and that's just what happens. I'm guilty too. All right. I'm talking in the mirror and I tell you all these things. All right. So that's what I do physically. So you're going to have to figure out when you can move. You have to get out there and move every single day. All right. You truly do. Walk, get out in nature, go for a hike, put down the damn phone. We're going to talk about the phones and the mental component, how unhealthy social media is. Social media is a great tool. And I'm happy that all of you are tuning in, but it's got to be in moderation, folks, because I'm guilty of this. You'll just start scrolling through your phone, right? Looking at all the reels and the TikTok videos and everything else. Pretty soon it's 2 hours have passed. You're like, holy cow, where'd the time go? And your brain's like hurting because there's too much stimulation. What could you have done to improve your life physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially during those 2 hours? And you do that every single day because there's some folks, I don't know what the average screen time is, but it's pretty outrageous. I think it's 6 hours a day or something like that. Do you imagine what you could do if you put that time into something else? A hobby, learn piano, learn another language, read a book, start a new business, start a side gig, spend more time with your kids, your significant other, go for a walk. I mean, that's what it is. Creating successful habits over time evolves into rituals, which leads you down to a path of living a life of passion. All right? That's what it is. So my first challenge to all of you and the physical strong is you have to commit to something. You have to commit it. Now, if you're 400 pounds, and I'm just speaking as an example, all right, don't say that you're going to run a marathon in 12 weeks. right? Or I'm going to run an ultra marathon in 4 months. I've never ran in my life. I'm 400 pounds. That's probably not going to be too healthy for you. Okay. If you are an extreme athlete and you do like CrossFit and ultra marathons, then yeah, put out those great goals that want to challenge yourself. They should be a little scary. But in the beginning, folks, if you're just starting off and you're kind of fat and you're depressed, and then you have to start building something, you have to start building your self-esteem. Because self-esteem is going to give you the fuel and the fire to continue to allow you to keep going when you don't want to. And that takes discipline. That takes discipline. Is it easy? No. Is it going to suck? Yeah, probably. But over time, you're going to start getting addicted to your results. You're going to start getting addicted to how you feel. You're going to start getting addicted to the high self-esteem that you have, that when you look in the mirror, you smile and you don't frown. See how it works? But you have to take little bites of the elephant. The problem with New Year's resolutions, because we see them all in the gym right now, everybody's like, I'm going all in. I'm going to work out 6 times a week. I'm giving up sugar. I'm giving up alcohol. I'm going to read 2 hours a day. And then I'm going to run 2 miles at night. And then I'm going to eat nothing but salads and cucumbers. And I'm going to eat lean meats and cut out carbs and cut out sugars and no sweets and do nothing. Then what happens? 30 days later, 2 weeks later, they start falling off. They quit. They may reach it to 90 days. Right? And they'll start getting a result. And at that time, one or two things going to happen. They're going to fall back to old behaviors and attitudes and become fatter than they were when they started, or it may get addicted to them and they may continue on their path. Guess what? It's all about who you are as a person and what you're trying to accomplish. So to everyone out there that's watching, you have to define what you truly want, number one. You got to figure out your why, your purpose. What do you want to accomplish? And this is kind of like my challenge over the next 120 days. I do understand this. If you buy into what we're going to do, and if you really research the things that I'm going to give you, and you're really going to start to apply these little habits to your life, I guarantee you at the end of 120 days, you're going to be a different person. You are going to start to like how you feel. Are you going to make mistakes along the line? Yes. Are you going to have a cheat meal? Yes. Are you going to go out there and maybe rip it up? Yeah, maybe. But the whole point is to get back in the saddle and continue on your journey down, and don't go all the way back where you get depressed and everything else. So it's going to be a journey. It's not easy. It's truly not. And again, I'm talking in the mirror because I've done this a million times, but I do know what works. And I know the mentality that it takes to get to where you're going, because I've been very successful in a lot of points of my life. I've also failed. I'll admit that. But my goodness gracious, if you buy into this next 120 days and get physically strong and mentally strong and spiritually strong, and then we start putting on the financial aspect, I'm preparing you for the shit show that's coming in 2024, whatever that may be. Gloom and doom or something else happens, I don't know. But either way, you're going to be prepared. That's what I'm trying to do for all of you. So no matter if it's horrible that's going to happen or something great that's going to happen, either way, you're going to be prepared. We're going to expect the best, but we're going to prepare for the worst. And that's what we're going to do. And this is going to evolve after 4 months into other things. We're going to talk about things that you need to start doing at home, and gardening and prepping and doing all this other stuff. And we're just going to do all the things that I've been doing in my life. And I'm going to share kind of my trials and tribulations with it. And we're going to experience new things together. It's going to be an exciting time. But that's the whole point of this Grassroots Army. As we build the 4 pillars of what this foundation is going to be in this organization, is physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially strong, so you can live a life full of passion and a life that you deserve. Okay? And so it's going to be interactive. Throw some comments in there. I'll read the comments. I usually don't read the comments, but I'll read the comments on the lives. And if somebody has a good question, I'll talk about it on the live. That's how we do this. Okay? We do it together as a movement. Okay? So today's goal, and what I want you to accomplish on, is I want you to look at what you can do for the next 30 days. What do you need to do? And it can be as simple as, you know what? I'm going to do what Garrett does, and I'm going to walk every day. You may not walk 2 miles. Maybe only walk 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I don't care. But start creating habits, successful habits. Okay? So look at your life. What do you want to do? Maybe you want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, we're going to talk about fasting here in a couple days. I'm going to give you some things that you can do, but you have to evolve this thing into you. Not what Garrett does, not what everyone else is doing on TikTok, but you have to define what you want out of this, and that's how we build it. And you have a question, you want to be vulnerable, you can include in the comment section what you're doing, And that's going to help other people. Remember, it's not each one teach one, it's each one teach many. So I urge all of you to have these conversations in the comments with each other and say, hey, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk every day for the next 30 days, or I'm going to give up sugar. That's really hard, but I guarantee I've done this. When you give up sugar, your body chemistry changes. Holy cow, a lot of problems just seem to magically go away. Why? Because sugar causes inflammation. And what's that inflammation? It's free radicals, right? But sugar causes inflammation, which starts to rip up your body. And then your immune system has to deal with it. And it gets tired, susceptible, creates brain fog. I mean, sugar is very bad. Pop is very bad. That's why when I go and eat my double butter burger deluxe with large fry and double scoop of the flavor of the day, I drink a water, not a pop. So, I mean, it's just you pick and choose your battles, right? Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, that's for sure. That's why I got my Culver's belly during my campaign, man. I was dominating the Culver's. But you have to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to continue down your path. So if you fall off, that's fine. Get back on, okay? And that's why, like I'm seeing in the comments, and I've been sober for, somebody just said, I think 8 years. That is fantastic. Who is that? Sarah Elizabeth. God bless you, man. Sober 8 years and never felt better. Like, that gives me the chills. Because I've never been sober for 8 years. And I don't know what that feels like. But I can only imagine how unbelievable you feel on the inside and how healthy you feel. So, hey, that inspires me to get better. It truly does. And I see number Katie, I've taken sugar out of my diet, down 40 pounds. That's what it gives me the chills. I love this stuff. That's where, I mean, a lot of us that's been involved in the Grassroots Army, people have been involved in my campaign. It was great. It was a great experience, but there's a lot of negativity to it, man. It truly was. Politics is a shitty, evil, horrible game. It's a necessity, unfortunately, and God bless anyone who wants to run in that. But this is the stuff that gets me all fired up. This is the stuff that gets addicting to me, is watching other people succeed. Because, like, Mama had it right. If you hang around with a bunch of punks, you're going to be a punk, right? If you hang around a bunch of people who are losers, you're going to be what? A loser. If you hang around a bunch of successful people, you're going to be successful. That's what I want this to be, is reading that. We feed off each other's energy, right? And we understand there's a lot of people out there that are dealing with maybe some same things. And you're going to read something that you're going to like, you know what? Sarah, holy cow, I've been trying to get sober, and here she is. Man, maybe I'll reach out to Sarah and say, hey, what have you been doing? Right? And Katie says, I've been taking out sugar on my diet. And you're like, well, I'm going to reach out to Katie and say, Katie, what do you mean you take sugar out there? What does that consist of? It's a movement of people. This is the whole essence of the Grassroots Army, and being what I say, Grassroots Army strong, right? It's all of us helping each other. And there's Pat, my girl Pat. It was a journey down 80 pounds. I stopped smoking 13 years, Doug. I've removed all bioengineered boxes in my pantry, Pamela. And Sarah replied, the 8 years sober, it feels like freedom. I mean, you see how addictive this stuff can be? This is the fun we're going to have. Now, look, on my platforms, you're going to see me still call out the garbage on both sides. I will, because that is a branch of the Grassroots Army, because it's a necessity, because we kind of put all of our heads in the sand and allowed this craziness called politics to really get out of control. And we're still going to do that. We're still going to activate people, and I'm going to put energy and get people on here that are running and give them a chance to experience the Grassroots Army and all of you. But this is going to be a lot of different branches as we build our oak tree of success. It truly is. And so that is what I want for this first little challenge for all of you that are watching. And share this video. Share this video. Make sure that you were getting it out, because I'm censored right now because I am still involved in politics. So with that comes censorship, unfortunately. But share what you're doing in the comments. What have you decided? What have you committed to? And that's what's showing up right now. Working to reverse type 2 diabetes, want to remove insulin. Pat says she's working out 5 days a week. I mean, that's what I want. Let's feed off each other. Let's help each other. And I'll go through the comments. And if somebody has a great question about something, hey, Garrett, can you cover this? I don't know the answer to everything, but I do promise you all this. I will research it to the best that I can, and I'll bring it to all of you so we all can learn together, okay? And that's why the next live we'll talk about fasting and stuff. I do institute some of fasting into my routine, but let's do this together. That's why I got my little beard going, baby. It's Rocky time. It's Rocky time. And I guarantee you this, You'll be a better person because of it. There might be some trolls on here calling me a grifter or whatever else. I'll block them. We don't have any time for that garbage. Mom ain't got no time for that, right? But we are going to get this thing started. And I just wanted to get on here and get everyone a little intro of what we're going to be doing. It's going to be exciting. So all of you who have already started this journey, being 8 years sober and giving up sugar 6 months ago, and working out 5 days a week, that's great, man. I mean, that's what this is about. So if you're new, you're like, oh my gosh, where do I even begin? It don't matter. Just start walking, start, getting rid of the self-destructive stuff in your life. That means people. Surround yourself with folks. If you have 5 friends that go to fast food 5 days a week and they're all 400 pounds and you're 400 pounds, you're like, I don't want to be 400 pounds anymore. Guess what? Maybe you should stop hanging out with those folks and go to the gym and start creating new friends. That's how it works. And then guess what? It doesn't mean you can just abandon those folks, but you maybe inspire the other people that were in your old crowd and say, holy cow, well, they did it. Maybe I can do it. Each one teach many. But you have to start putting these successful habits into your life. Okay. Another goal that you could do, I'm just giving you, I'm spitballing here, is just drink a gallon of water a day. You're going to live on the bathroom. That's why I try to drink 5 of these bad boys. It's a gallon every day. And I pee a lot, but that's hydrating your body. Okay. Just little things. It doesn't have to be that you're going to hit the gym 5 times a week or you do all this crazy, insane stuff like CrossFit and everything else. I'm not bashing any of that. I think it's a great workout, but don't think what you see on TikTok and all these other folks that are doing, get ideas from them. And then what I do is I take a little of the greatness, because everybody has greatness. I don't care who you are. You can always learn something from someone. It's always, before I go into that, it's always funny when I go to the gym, I see some young person, and they're, 20, 21, maybe, I don't know. I'm starting to get old, but I go up to them. I start asking questions. They look at me like, why is the old guy asking me questions? Because they're doing an exercise that I've never seen. And I've been in the gym since I was 14 years of age, and they're doing stuff that I've never seen. So I ask, like, what is that working? What are you doing? And I think they appreciate that. They truly do. But don't think just because I've been working out since I was 14, which is 30 or 31 years, that I know everything. I don't. I learn every single day. You can always learn something from someone else. Okay. So don't be afraid to ask questions. You're never too old for that. Humble yourself, man. Humble yourself. But that is how we're going to do this. Okay. And couple more I want to talk about. I've been doing intermittent fasting, read my entire Bible for the first time in 2023. Marilyn, that's awesome. Kara, thank you. I'm hoping to walk 15 minutes every day, walk for a few minutes on a rebounder or some type of movement. That's little things add up to be big things. I'm eating whole foods. Dana Young, good job. That's what I want, folks. That's what I want as we, get this thing moving and grooving, is to continue to just share what everyone's doing. And then we'll build on it. And when I see a topic in the questions to talk about it, I'll get on here and I'll yap about it and give you my 2 cents on it. But this first one right now, a little introduction of what I plan on doing with the Grassroots Army. The first month is physically strong. Grow your beard if you're a guy. Or hey, if you want to grow your beard too, you can that. But physically strong, it's Rocky time. So let's get it done. Figure something out that you want to get moving. Walking, working out, cutting sugar, cutting alcohol, cutting smoking. I don't care what it is. Let's start limiting the self-destructive behavior and let's start doing the positive stuff. Okay. Little habits evolve into successful rituals over time. And that's what I want to do. And we're all going to do it together. Okay. So let's get after it. Pastor Jason, holy cow, I haven't talked to you in years, brother. God bless you, man. So let's get after it. Let's rock and roll, because we are going to do some amazing things in 2024 that's going to set you up and your family and your future generations of a life of passion. God bless you. God bless the state of Michigan, of course, and always. God bless the United States. Bye-bye.